One day at a dealership, a technician told me something that honestly shook me a little. "Your car probably knows more about you than you know about it." I laughed, thinking he was just messing with me, but he kept a straight face and said, "If you really understood everything your car can do, you'd feel more like the co-pilot than the driver." He started walking me around the car and showing me little tricks that were literally hiding in plain sight. Things like rolling all the windows down from the outside, secret modes that protect the engine, and a single button that can clear a fogged-up windshield in seconds. That's when it hit me. Most people only use maybe 10% of what their cars can actually do. And that's a problem, because those hidden features can save you time, money, nerves, and sometimes even help avoid an accident. So today, here on Car Vitalize, I'm going to walk you through 16 hidden functions that most modern cars have but almost nobody uses. Let's start from number 16 and count our way down to the most powerful one. 16. Remote control windows, up and down. This one is pure comfort, especially if you live somewhere hot. Many modern cars let you roll down all the windows just by holding the unlock button on your key fob. On some models, you can even roll them back up the same way by holding the lock button. You'll see this in brands like Volkswagen, BMW, Ford, Toyota, Honda, and plenty of others. Sometimes the feature is turned off from the factory and needs to be activated in the settings or by a quick visit to a shop. But once it's on, it's a game changer. Picture this. You leave work in July, your car's been baking in the sun for hours, and the inside feels like an oven. Instead of jumping in and cooking alive, you press and hold the button from a distance, let the hot air escape, and then step into a car that's already breathing again. And if you forgot to close the windows, you don't have to walk back. Just hold lock and they'll close on their own. The funny part? A lot of drivers discover this by accident when the key is in their pocket and the buttons get pressed. They walk back to find all the windows down and think the car glitched. Nope, that's not a malfunction. That's a feature no one bothered to explain to you. 15. Auto-locking and unlocking with key proximity. If your car has keyless entry, you're walking around with a superpower you may not be using. Proximity systems let your car unlock when you walk up with the key and lock itself when you walk away. No digging in your pockets, no fumbling for buttons. Imagine leaving the store with your hands full of bags. Instead of juggling everything to find your keys, you just walk up to the car and the doors unlock automatically. When you're done, close the doors and simply walk away. A few steps out of range and you'll hear the locks click behind you. Manufacturers call this stuff different names: walk-away auto lock, proximity unlock, and so on. You'll find versions of it in Hyundai, Nissan, Tesla, Mazda, and many others. It doesn't just make your life easier, it also reduces the number of times people forget to lock their cars. The system does it for you. One guy in the US even joked that his car says goodbye every time he leaves the garage because he always hears the lock click as he walks away. It's not emotions, of course. It's just a smart system quietly making sure your car is secure, even when your brain is on autopilot. 14. The hidden emergency fuel cap release. This is one of those features you only appreciate the day you really need it. You pull up to the gas station, try to open the fuel door, and it refuses. You push, pull, tap, curse a little, nothing. Often the electric release gets stuck over time, especially with dust, ice, or age. What almost nobody knows is that many cars have a manual backup to open the fuel door. It's usually a small lever, button, or pull cable hidden near the trunk area or behind an interior trim panel close to the fuel door. In some cars, it's even tucked behind the side carpet in the trunk. Brands like Toyota, Lexus, Ford, Subaru, and others quietly hide these mechanical releases in case the normal system fails. Sometimes there's a tiny icon or arrow. Other times it's so well hidden that owners drive around for years not knowing it exists, until a mechanic pulls a panel and opens it in 2 seconds. One mechanic once joked, "If drivers read their manual like they read their text messages, I'd have way less work." He wasn't wrong. So, if your fuel door ever refuses to open, instead of panicking or calling a tow truck, check the trunk area or side trim. That little hidden lever might save your entire day. 13. The magic fast defog button. This one feels small, until the first time your windshield fogs up so badly you can't see a thing. Most modern cars have a quick defog or anti-condensation mode that's way smarter than just blasting random air everywhere. Look for a button with a windshield icon and 3 upward arrows. Hit that, and the car automatically chooses the best air temperature, direction, and fan speed to clear the inside of the windshield as fast as possible. You don't have to manually adjust every climate setting. It's all pre-programmed. On cold, humid mornings when your glass fogs from the inside and visibility drops to almost zero, this mode is your best friend. Instead of cracking the windows and freezing, the system dries the glass for you. Yes, it often uses the AC compressor for a short time, but not to make the cabin ice cold, just to pull moisture out of the air. Higher-end brands like Audi, Mercedes, Volvo, and others even use humidity sensors inside the car. They constantly monitor moisture levels and adjust airflow without you doing anything. It's like having an invisible assistant dedicated to one job, keeping your view clear so you can focus on driving. 12. Auto-tilting mirrors, when you reverse. Most drivers don't notice this until it happens, and then they think something's wrong. A lot of modern cars can automatically tilt the side mirrors downward when you shift into reverse. It's not a ghost, it's on purpose. When you go into reverse, the mirrors dip just enough to give you a better view of the curb, lines, and rear wheels. Then, when you shift back into drive or park, they return to their normal position. Less guessing, fewer curb kisses, and fewer scratched wheels. You'll find this in brands like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Honda, Toyota, Mazda, and others. Often you can customize how far the mirrors tilt or even switch the feature off in the settings menu. On cars with memory seats, you can usually save a parking profile where mirrors move exactly how you like during backing maneuvers. So if you ever saw your mirrors adjusting themselves and thought, "Great, now the car's possessed," relax. That's not a glitch. It's your car acting like a personal parking assistant and quietly protecting your rims. 11. Smart air recirculation that thinks for you. Everyone's seen the recirculation button, the little car icon with a circular arrow inside. Most people just press it randomly. But on many newer cars, there's a smart version that works automatically. These systems use air quality sensors to detect pollution, heavy dust, or strong odors outside. When the car senses nasty air, like behind a smoky diesel truck or near an industrial area, it closes the outside vents and switches to internal recirculation all by itself. You don't have to touch anything. You'll see features like this in Hyundai, Lexus, BMW, Volkswagen, Tesla, and more, often under names like Auto Air Quality Control or Smart Recirculation. The trick is to leave your climate system in auto so it can make these decisions. If you constantly override it, you're working against the car's brain. There are even stories of drivers who complain, "The air system keeps changing by itself." In reality, the car is just trying to stop them from breathing a cloud of exhaust at every stoplight. Sometimes technology protects us from things we don't even notice in the moment. 10. Mirrors that fold themselves. When you lock. This is a small thing, until the day someone walks too close to your parked car. Many vehicles can automatically fold their side mirrors when you lock the doors. It looks fancy, but it's actually very practical. First, it protects the mirrors from getting smacked by passing cars, bikes, or shopping carts. Second, it gives you a clear visual confirmation that the car is locked. If you glance back and see the mirrors folded in, you know you're good. In lots of cars, this function is available but disabled by default. You may need to turn it on in the settings, hold the lock button a bit longer, or ask a shop to enable it via an OBD tool. Once active, it becomes an everyday habit. Lock, fold, walk away. Some people worry that the folding motors use too much battery, but they draw almost nothing. It's far less than what your phone uses in a few minutes. Meanwhile, your car looks more upscale, fits better in tight spots, and your mirrors survive more of those crowded parking lots. 9. Remote engine and climate start. This one feels like something out of a spy movie, but it's surprisingly common now. With certain key fobs or smartphone apps, you can start your engine and climate control remotely, before you even open the door. On freezing mornings, you can warm the interior and defrost the glass while you're still inside your house. In scorching heat, you can cool the cabin down before you even step outside. Your steering and transmission stay locked so someone can't just jump in and drive away. Brands like Ford, Chevrolet, Nissan, Toyota, Hyundai, Tesla, and others offer remote start systems, often under names like Remote Start, Remote Engine Start, or Smart Start. Some even let you set runtime, target temperature, and whether to turn on heated or ventilated seats. Yes, some people use it just to show off in a parking lot. Press a button, car starts, everyone looks. But beyond the flex, it's genuinely useful. It helps stabilize engine fluids before driving and makes the car more comfortable and safer before you even sit down. 8. Rain-sensing wipers that react before you do. Your car might actually react to rain faster than you do. Many vehicles have a rain sensor tucked behind the windshield near the rearview mirror. It detects moisture and automatically turns on the wipers. These sensors use light refraction or infrared signals across the glass. When water hits and changes the pattern, the system understands that it's raining and adjusts the wiper speed based on how heavy the rain is. Light drizzle, slow wipes, heavy downpour, fast sweeps. Most drivers don't realize there's a sensitivity setting for this. You can usually tweak it with the wiper stalk or via the infotainment system. If you feel the wipers react too late or too often, it's usually just a matter of fine-tuning, not a faulty system. The big benefit is less distraction. Instead of constantly reaching for the wiper control while trying to stay in your lane, the car handles it for you. Some models even coordinate the wipers with the headlights to boost visibility in really bad weather. It's your car quietly saying, "Eyes on the road, you handle the steering, I've got the rain." 7. Driver, drowsiness and fatigue detection. This feature honestly feels like science fiction, but it saves real lives. Driver fatigue detection systems monitor your behavior and look for signs that you're getting tired or losing focus. The car watches subtle steering corrections, pedal use, lane-keeping behavior, and in some models, even your eyes and blinking through cameras. When the system notices patterns that look like drowsy driving, slow reactions, drifting, constant minor corrections, it pops up a warning sound and message. Sometimes a little coffee cup icon appears on the screen with a message like, "Time for a break." It looks cute, but behind it is serious safety tech. Programs like Euro NCAP have shown that these systems can significantly reduce fatigue-related crashes on long trips. Brands like Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, Ford, Volvo, Kia, Subaru, and others all have their own versions. Attention Assist, Driver Alert, Driver Monitoring System, and so on. Some advanced ones even tighten the seatbelt or flash hazard lights if they detect a very dangerous situation. No, your car isn't trying to date you when it shows you a coffee icon. It's trying to make sure you actually get home. 6. Hill Start Assist, the invisible foot on the brake. If you've ever stopped on a steep hill, taken your foot off the brake, and felt that panic as the car starts rolling backward, this feature is for you. Hill Start Assist or Hill Hold Control keeps brake pressure applied for a couple of seconds after you release the pedal. The system uses ABS and stability sensors to measure the incline. When you take your foot off the brake, it keeps the brakes engaged just long enough for you to move to the gas pedal. As soon as you start accelerating, it releases smoothly and you pull away without rolling back. This is a huge help in city traffic, at steep intersections, or whenever the car is loaded with passengers and feels heavy. It also reduces stress on the clutch and brakes in manual cars because you don't have to burn the clutch to keep from sliding. Some newer cars combine Hill Start Assist with an auto hold feature. Auto hold keeps the car stopped indefinitely at lights or in traffic without you having to hold the brake pedal down. It's like that friend who instinctively grabs your arm when you're about to slip. Quiet, invisible, but incredibly useful. 5. Automatic high beams that don't blind everyone. We've all met that driver who never turns their high beams off. Modern cars try to fix that with automatic high beam control. A camera usually mounted near the top of the windshield watches for headlights and taillights of other vehicles. When it detects oncoming traffic or a car ahead of you, it switches from high beams to low beams automatically so you don't blind anyone. Once the road clears again, it flips the high beams back on. All of this happens in fractions of a second without you touching the stalk. The system also reacts to ambient light. In well-lit city areas, it keeps the beams low. On dark rural roads, it opens them up for maximum visibility. Brands like Toyota, Ford, Subaru, Volvo, Audi, BMW, and many others include versions of this tech. Some drivers think their lights are malfunctioning because they seem to decide on their own. But no, your car isn't haunted. It's just better behaved than a lot of human drivers. You get the safest lighting possible without becoming that person everyone flashes at in anger. 4. Brake plus gas pedal anti-theft lockout. This one sounds like something out of an action movie, but it's real. Some cars have a hidden protection mode that activates if the brake and accelerator pedals are pressed at the same time while trying to start the engine. When the system detects both pedals down during startup, it can block the ignition and prevent the engine from firing. This can help stop certain theft attempts, especially when someone is trying to mess with the starting sequence or do something unusual with the pedals. It also helps prevent accidental launches, particularly in automatic cars. If someone presses the gas by mistake during startup, the system can intervene and refuse to move. You'll find variations of this in brands like Hyundai, Nissan, Ford, Chevrolet, and others as part of their safety logic. Many people discover it by accident and think, "My car just died, it won't start." In reality, the car is in self-defense mode. To exit, simply release the pedals, turn the ignition off, and start again normally. It's one of those silent guardians built into the electronics that nobody tells you about at the dealership. 3. Auto-close windows and sunroof. When it rains, ever leave the windows cracked open, walk away, and then the sky opens up? You imagine coming back to a soaked interior. But on many modern cars, there's a quiet hero at work, the rain-sensing auto-close feature. Using the same rain sensor that controls your automatic wipers, the car can detect significant moisture on the windshield. If the windows or sunroof are open, the system can close them automatically to keep water out. It's like the car pulling its own umbrella shut. You'll see versions of this in brands like Volkswagen, Audi, BMW, Toyota, Mazda, and others. In some cases, the feature has to be turned on in the menu or configured at a shop. Once active, it protects your seats, electronics, door panels, and carpeting from water damage, mold, and bad smells. If your vehicle is linked to a smartphone app, it might even notify you that it detected rain and closed everything up. Some owners have literally sprinted back to their cars in a storm, only to find everything already sealed and dry. They stand there wondering, did I close it earlier and forget? No. The car just had more common sense in that moment than its owner. 2. Hidden Eco Mode that quietly saves fuel. This is one of the most underrated tricks in modern cars. Many vehicles built in the last decade have some kind of eco or efficiency mode that quietly changes how the car behaves to save fuel. When eco mode is active, the car softens accelerator response, shifts earlier in automatics, and often limits the power used by the AC compressor. The engine might feel a bit sleepy, but that's intentional. It's using just enough power to move you without wasting fuel. In brands like Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, and many others, eco mode can cut fuel consumption by around 10 to 15% in city driving. Some systems also redirect air conditioning to focus on occupied seats instead of cooling the whole cabin equally, squeezing out even more efficiency. The key is knowing when to use it. Perfect for stop-and-go traffic, city commutes, or long flat stretches where you don't need rapid acceleration. Not ideal for steep hills or quick-passing maneuvers. A lot of people switch it off because the car feels slower, but their wallets would absolutely prefer it stays on. 1. Full Electronic Reset, the Forget button. Now for the crown jewel, the feature that can sometimes save you a trip to the shop, the Full Electronic Reset. Many modern cars allow you to reset certain comfort and minor electronic modules without a professional scanner. The exact process depends on the make, but the idea is similar. You turn the ignition to the on position without fully starting the engine, press and hold a specific button, often a reset or start button. While holding the brake, wait a few seconds, then turn everything off and restart normally. This can reboot some secondary ECUs and modules. What does that do for you? It can clear small software glitches, false warning lights that pop up after a battery change, stuck tire pressure errors, climate control bugs, or random electronic mood swings. It won't fix real mechanical failures, but it can wipe out the little digital tantrums cars sometimes throw. Some mechanics jokingly call this the forget button, because it wipes out those minor quirks and makes the electronics behave like new again. The crazy part is how many people rush to a shop for a blinking light that could have been solved in 30 seconds with a proper reset sequence. Turn knowledge into power. So now you know, your car isn't just a machine that gets you from A to B. It's full of hidden tools designed to protect you, save you money, and make daily driving easier, if you actually use them. If you discovered at least one feature today that your car has and you never knew about, tell us in the comments. Your story might help thousands of other drivers unlock a trick that's been hiding right under their noses. And if you want more real-world tips that make you a smarter, more confident car owner, hit subscribe and join us here at Car Vitalize. Your car already knows what it can do. Now it's your turn to catch up.